Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello.
How y'all doing?
Welcome to the Just
Oh,
Gaming
yeah.
Tingz Podcast. Here we are. Just five fucking redacteds talking about the gaming news of the week.
Not that, man. Not that.
Maybe
I hate it here.
I had
In
to
the
do
pod.
it.
Goodbye, everyone.
I gotta go.
we started early today. We started early.
I had to do it. I had to do it. Listen, it was required. I had to do it. You know? But
Was it?
girlies, we have a full house today to talk about all the gaming things from an all queer perspective. Look at us. We have Jam. Welcome back. Hi.
Hi.
It's good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing so well. I'm so happy to be here and chat with y'all and our special guest.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we'll keep the suspense going for the audio listeners. Oh. We also have Koga. Hi, welcome back.
Hello.
Yes. How was your week?
My week was actually pretty good. Honestly, there was a lot of stuff that happened game-wise, so I'm like, I have to pick one
Right.
thing?
I didn't even pick one thing. Hi, I'm Ruby. I didn't even pick one thing. I was like, they covered it. We're good. We're good. There's plenty to talk about. Of course, we also have Spin. Hello. Welcome back.
Oh, hi. Hello.
How are you, girlie?
Feeling much better than yesterday. I got sidelined with a migraine, and
Oh, we hate to see it.
Oh.
We hate to see it.
forgot how to speak midstream, so we love that.
Yeah, you sure did. It sure happened. And I was like, oh, Spin, just go to bed. Turn off, end the stream. It's okay. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have a special guest once again, Ruin.
Hi, everyone. Such a pleasure to be joining all of you wonderful people
Yes.
here on this wonderful podcast on this wonderful day.
Oh, everything
Hi,
is so
everyone.
wonderful. Please introduce
Everything's
yourself
so
for the
wonderful.
clowns out there who may not know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ruincrown. I'm the head clown over at the Ruincrown Musical Circus. We also have a college attached to that. We got everything over there, darling.
It's
But
a
I
whole
have a big
thing.
It's a whole production. It's a whole production. But I am a RPG streamer with some variety mixed in. So you can catch me over at Ruincrown, twitch.tv/me.
Yes, please
We
go
love
follow
it.
Ruin
Yes.
right now. Go do it.
Do it.
Oh my goodness, we're so happy to have you on over. We're very excited to bring on over like special guests and have a different dynamic to our group and stuff. And if y'all like Ruin, he can always come back, for other episodes. Who knows?
A pleasure.
Tee
Yes. Tee.
Tee indeed. Like I said earlier, we bring an all queer perspective to video games, gaming news, and nerdy stuff. We're live every Saturday here on twitch.tv/JustGamingTingz at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And then eventually on podcast services, Twitch, all of that. You can watch and listen to our wonderful podcast, if I do say so myself. Hello, hi. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's just jump right into it, y'all. So who wants to talk about our first story of the day? A little Nintendo action, if you will. Spin, do you want to take it away? I see you
I can
posing.
go ahead.
I see you posing.
I'm posing. I'm ready. Okay, so recently there was the Nintendo Indie World Showcase, and they announced so much at this that looks so cool. Like, can we just talk about how the indies are just doing everything right now?
They really are.
Like, literally every single game, I was just like, ooh, that looks cool. Ooh, that looks cool. Ooh, that's cool too.
Right? My God, it was such a journey. I watched it on stream and I was like, wait, hold on a minute. Like, every single game I was like, ooh, this actually looks cute. Let's get into it. Hello?
Yeah, so I figured we could each pick one thing that was our highlight that we might get into from this.
Yes.
I was really interested in the longing. I I don't know if I'll necessarily play it because that is a big time commitment. It basically like it's 400 days in real time. So like you play the game every day for 400 days.
Well, you don't have to play it every day, but every time you play, there's a 400-day clock.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is a big time commitment.
Yeah.
To like
to see the game through and to like understand what's going on in the story and like what's gonna happen after the 400 days.
Yeah, basically like you're underground by yourself for 400 days in this game in real time. And like definitely I think if I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna play it like maybe when it's a little bit past like pandemic time so it doesn't feel too real, you know.
Too
I
real.
didn't even think about that.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh yeah.
We did have like Animal Crossing making the pandemic feel too real with the like having to wait every day. I don't need another game doing that.
Yeah. But I just thought it was a really cool concept.
It is. I thought it was really interesting. And like the art style looks so cool too. Like it looks like those like old school like point and click games where like it's like hand drawn and like the characters just like move like very slowly and do all of that. Like I think it's very interesting. I wonder how that's gonna go for like reviews and stuff like that. Like they're playing the long con, honey. Everyone's gonna be like review in progress because nobody's gonna know what to say about the game in 400 days.
Right. You'll get like people's first impressions literally over a year from now.
Yeah. We're not going to see any type of in this game. It's just going to be like, finally, 400 days later, we have the review that everyone's been waiting for.
Right.
Oh my god, I can see the title now. Shook.
Maybe I should do it.
Yeah.
The commitment, too much.
Right.
Not that.
You're on the podcast now. You are officially a games journalist. It can happen.
Well,
You said it.
here we go.
Well,
I'm ready.
400-day stream challenge. You stream for 400 days.
Oh my god.
No.
Burn it down. Stop it
Just
now.
ruin my relationship, ruin my job. Let's just ruin my life while we're at it, okay?
400 days straight. That's quite a bit. That's
Yeah.
That's a
bit.
commitment,
Yeah, it sure is. And
No, I wanted to see
will
what
it
was,
even
like,
be
all
worth
your
it? Who
highlights.
knows? Sorry, Spin, what?
I wanted to see what like all your highlights were.
Oh yes. Did you get to check out the indie showcase, Ruin?
I watched a little bit of it. Here's my thing, and I'm sorry, y'all can hate, but I'm not really into indie games that much. Sometimes I am, like sometimes it's like, ooh, but it's just a little bit overwhelming for me sometimes because it's just like on top of the other games, like AAA titles that are coming out, it just gets too overwhelming. And sometimes indie games can be long games. Like they are sometimes short games. So I was scrolling through seeing what was released. And honestly, I don't look like it, but I am a big House of the Dead fan. Like,
Yeah.
Koga is ready.
absolutely. Yes.
I that looks really good, and I am excited to shoot up some zombies in the oncoming year. Like, let's get into it.
Yes.
I would say that's what I'm excited for.
That's fun. It looked really good. It did look really good. I was like, ooh, hold on a minute. I love an arcade moment.
It looks good. It looks good. I'm excited for it too. It looks good.
Yeah. One of my surprise highlights was the Skull Hero Slayer game, in which you play as like the villain in like a typical like roguelite kind of game where like you kill a bunch of like skeletons and all those kinds of like NPCs and stuff. But this one is kind of interesting because like the whole concept of it is like you're gonna save like the villain because he got captured by the good guys, so you get to be like this little skeleton like going around and like trying to avenge his master, which I think is kind of cute. Like I love how like the thing about indies is that like they truly do bring different perspectives, and like they get really creative with the way that they go about games and stories and gameplay and all that stuff. So this one took me by surprise, but I was like, hold on a minute, this actually looked really fun. This looks like something I could get behind on.
I think kind of too with games like that, and just like just media in general, people love an anti-hero. People love anti-heroes right now. So like it's probably going to do very well to like be on the other side. And you always wonder about that side of the story. Like when it comes to RPGs or any type of game, you're like, what's on the other side? Like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, like they're usually like, we barely, especially with the roguelite, like you don't even know like what they're thinking. You don't know, like that's why Hades is very interesting too, because like when you fight people and then you refight them and you have the rematches and stuff, you get to hear different perspectives, different dialogues. When you restart, you get different characters talking about your experience and stuff like that. So it's gonna be very interesting. I feel like people are gonna love it. So it's gonna be fun for sure. What about you, Koga? Besides the House of the Dead.
Oh no, that's not fair.
I'm kidding. You can go off. You can go on about it if you want.
It was House of the Dead. I mean, I guess it would have been like the Turtles trailer, but I already knew that was coming. But for me, House of the Dead, a remake, especially the first one, was very exciting because we've never had an actually good home port. We had the one that was on Sega Saturn. It's an experience. Like it's very. It runs pretty slow, like maybe like 20 frames per second. The cursor will move at like 60 though, but it wasn't that great. But so it's nice to have like a version that we can play at home. I'm hoping it comes to PC though. But I've been like saying that it's something that the Switch I would like to see, because I do like, light gun games and things of that nature, and you can point at the screen. So I was like, okay, we had like House of the Dead 2 and 3 return, and then like Overkill on the Wii. Where are these games at? They need to put it on the Switch. So we got one, so that's a win for me.
Yeah, and hopefully if people are interested in this sells well, maybe they'll bring others over, or maybe even a new one.
Yeah.
Give us 4, because 4 is about to get lost in time due to it being a digital-only PS3 exclusive. So I would love for 4 to come back.
No, I hate that. Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the drama.
I forgot that it was. I forgot that it was digital only.
Yeah, digital only and only on PS3. It was never put to anything else except arcades.
Oh no. Well.
Well. Jim, did you get to see this? Did you get to see the showcase?
Yes. So I am very excited about the Ninja Turtles beat 'em up, because I love a good Ninja Turtles beat 'em up. And then I'm also very excited about Aerial Knight Never Yield, which is basically just an endless parkour runner that's like in this like pixel art futuristic setting. It's very cool, and I'm like here for it. I love endless runners because they just are kind of mindless, but like also require you to pay just a little bit of attention, and I like love it. It's so much fun. So I'm excited about those two things the most.
It looked so good, and then like halfway through the trailer,
Aerial Knight looks so good,
right? Like they showed like the different paths, and you're like, oh, hold on a minute, you can like take different paths. There's like NPCs to talk to. Like what is going on? It looks just so good. I was like super excited for it. But yeah, let us know on our Twitter and Twitch and stuff what you thought about the indie showcase. We would love to hear your thoughts, your concerns, your opinions. It's interesting that the highlight of it for a lot of people was Oxenfree 2, but neither of us mentioned it.
None of us talked about it.
I mean, I never even played the first one.
I haven't played the first one.
It is what it is.
I've heard good things about it, but I have never played
What was it?
Oxenfree. The first one was apparently like super, super popular. And they revealed the second one at the showcase, and I see a lot of people freaking out about it. But I just thought it was funny that like none of us like mentioned it.
I have never
valid
in my life.
Yeah, a lot of like what I'm hearing from other people is like, oh my god, Oxenfree 2, and it's like I didn't play the first one. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was busy playing other games. You know.
Not that.
Sorry, I was busy playing AAA games.
Ooh.
Oh
She's gonna get the girlies talking. They're gonna come
Fired up.
no.
Fired up.
at Ruincrown on Twitter. You know where to find.
The keyboard warriors are gonna come out.
Come for
Oh my
me.
God.
Come for me.
Oh my god, I'm screaming.
Oh
Well,
my god, it's so good.
Well,
So good.
speaking of AAAs, there was a Resident Evil showcase very, very recently.
It sure was.
Yeah, and who wants to talk about it? Because I actually didn't see. I'm just gonna go off of our article that we have on our doc. So you can go on ahead, Koga.
Yeah, as soon as I heard about this, I was like, Koga's over there, just like,
Yes. The end of it like definitely got me. I was like, okay. So this was about Thursday. They had a showcase, and mostly it was for Resident Evil Village, where they showed off some more gameplay, and then also there is a demo, well, multiple kind of. There's a Village and Castle demo, which actually, if you have a PlayStation 4 or 5, hate y'all. Y'all actually get to start playing today at 5:00 PT.
Yeah, I'm mad about it.
Until like tomorrow 1 a.m. They're doing like, I guess, that time thing. If you played the Resident Evil 2 demo, where it's like I guess you got to play it like one time through a certain through a certain amount of time. I think they're doing that again. So be ready to make like multiple accounts like the rest of us. Then the Castle demo is going to be available for PlayStation users on the 24th, starting at 5:00 PT until the 25th on 1:00 a.m. PT. And then the demos are coming for everybody, which is going to be PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and also Stadia on May the 1st at 5:00 PT until May the 2nd. Whew, that's a lot of information for demos. They handle these demos weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but at least it's coming to for everyone else, especially Steam, because Capcom is kind of iffy about putting demos on Steam, because when they do that, it gets, everybody finds out everything. You go into files, so they don't like that all the time. So I'm glad we're at least getting that. They also revealed that there's going to be Mercenaries mode, which is going to be in Resident Evil Village, which is kind of like, you can say, kind of like a score attack somewhat of a way. So that's going to be added in there for free, which is also pretty cool. They also showed another trailer of the Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, which is going to be on Netflix sometime this year.
Fun.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Because it's animated, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch. I know so far stuff on Netflix about gaming has been pretty good, so I do have a bit of high hopes for it. I'm not the fan of the movies, but apparently a lot of people like them, so it can't. There's an audience. So then they also there's going to be a Dead by Daylight collaboration. I'm not much of a Dead by Daylight person, but
Ruin is not perceiving the Debbie Delight.
they're
Debbie
going
Delight,
to,
she does not see it.
No.
They're going to, I guess, announce more about what the collaboration is going to be on May the 25th for DBD's 5th anniversary. And now, the part that I loved. So Resident Evil 4 is going to be coming to the Oculus Quest 2, which means, yes, it's going to be Resident Evil 4 VR. Oh my goodness, I am excited about this. I don't know how I feel about it being exclusive to the Quest 2, not even the Quest 1, not the Rift S, just this one thing. Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I do love that this is happening. I'm going to get it day one. And
Yes.
Like day one. I'm like, after playing Resident Evil 4 in VR, I was like, okay, can we get more of these? Resident Evil 7 in VR, I wanted more of these. 4 to me wasn't really that scary, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'll take it. Like, it was still a good game. It was actually my first Resident Evil game that I liked. I didn't like the originals because the camera and the tank controls ruined it for me as a kid.
Resident Evil 4 really made Resident Evil into a series that people really wanted to get into, and I think that yeah, I think that's the only reason they've been able to continue, because if Resident Evil 4 wasn't good, I don't think people would keep playing it.
Yeah, but they just, I don't know. Resident Evil 4, I played it as a kid, and it's like, they've drugged that through the dirt a few years. Like, they just keep re-releasing it, and releasing it, and re-releasing it. Let it go. Let it go.
Oh, you know how franchises get. Look, at least they finally started going. They went back and like redid 2 and 3 in like a more modern format, which I think was great, right? Because I think 2 had such an interesting. Yeah, I thought 2 was a very good game, but I think having it modern was like great. It was like a great thing for them to do. Mm-hmm. So,
absolutely, I'm excited for the possibility of this port eventually going to other platforms, or even like as a non-VR kind of, almost like a remake kind of thing, because they have to change things. They couldn't just like, hey, here's the game as it was in 2000 and something. Like they had to, they had to make it look good for VR. I'm not excited for having Ashley every 2 seconds being like, Leon, just like being fucking annoying.
Literally, the worst character ever.
But it's interesting that they chose Resident Evil 4 because it kind of ties in with the series, or like the movie that they're gonna do. I
think that's why.
Yeah, that's centered around Leon and all of that. So, I'm actually pretty interested in the Dead by Daylight collaboration, because depending on what they do with it, it might intrigue me to kind of go back to the game. If they have like a Jill Scott, that's not her name.
Not Jill Scott.
That's a singer.
No, that's a singer.
Jill Valentine. If they have Jill as like a survivor, that would be fucking iconic. And as far as the killer, like I don't play as a killer in Dead by Daylight anyway. So I don't have like a preference. A lot of people are very passionate about the vampire girlies. Some people are saying Mr. X or Nemesis. So the possibilities are endless. But yeah, that the new mode, not the new mode, but the Mercenaries mode is actually pretty interesting too, because it's like a first person, almost like a time trial situation, very arcadey as well. So it's actually pretty fun. Like they had a similar mode. It wasn't first person for Resident Evil 2, but they had that for the DLC. Like you played, and it was like a completely different mode. It felt like it was more arcadey. But this one is definitely like a step up from that, because it's like first person, and again, like I love an arcade moment where it's like you just get the points for doing stuff, and it's just everything is just very stimulating and fun. And so I'm very intrigued about Resident Evil Village. I don't know if I care too much about the drama around the demos and why it's timed, and there's pre-downloads, and then there's different platforms at different days. It's a whole fucking thing, and I don't know how I feel about it.
It's because PlayStation can get their exclusive for that. The PlayStation is able to throw their weight around still, which I think is going to slowly change, right? Because they aren't, I think to some extent, they aren't keeping up with the times in terms of like how they're delivering games, like in terms of like really having that true competitor to like Game Pass and that kind of thing. So I think they're really banking on like fully just like, we need to pull in and get people attached to our system so that they'll be with us. Whereas, Xbox is kind of still doing that like good gamer will thing. It's like, here's more things that we want you to have as a gamer that we're providing you. And PlayStation just isn't doing that. So they're throwing their money around to get what they want.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Capitalism. What can you do?
Right.
Bring it down.
Tear it down.
I promise I'm not a communist, Ruin. I promise.
We sip.
Sure, Jam.
Yeah, what
Mr.
about y'all?
FBI, please don't come get me.
Do y'all have any thoughts and concerns about Resident Evil Village?
Village.
I want it now.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. I have never played a Resident Evil game.
Valid. It happens.
I've never played a Resident Evil game in my life. I'm not a big DVD player. However, I am kind of interested to see what they do with the collab.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there are so many options, and it's like it's one of those franchises where like we genuinely don't know like who the like survivors and killers are gonna be, because like there's so many options and it's such like a long running franchise.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited to see who it is.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see who they choose for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't trust Dead by Daylight, especially with their last expansion, with their K-pop killer or whatever. I don't know. But they gave some of those characters the ugliest cosmetics I have ever seen. And I mean, I haven't played it since the beginning, but some of those cosmetics, they were a choice. Like, you knew a straight man was in charge of that, because that was ugly.
Well, that's because they let the gay intern be in charge of the Twitter account.
Ooh.
And not the cosmetics.
The gay interns everywhere. I'm tired of them gay interns. Fire them. It's over. The summer's over. I'm just kidding. They can stay. We can hire them on in some administrative role. Whatever.
What if all the gay interns from all the companies come together, form their own game studio?
Honestly, it would be iconic. Sign me up. I'll be an intern there.
Isn't that just like half of the indie studios out there?
You're not wrong.
Maybe so.
Well,
they're like, I don't want to work for this straight agenda. Hello.
Possibly so.
The one good thing about it is that Capcom would not allow them to have ugly cosmetics for the characters. They would be like, no, they have to wear these outfits and they have to look this exact way, or else they're not happening. So that
I feel like their licensed stuff usually only gets like 1 or 2 cosmetics, and it's usually like something from the series that's kind of already iconic, right?
Yeah.
Like Jill Valentine in her outfit, or Claire Redfield in her like red leather jacket, or Leon and his Honestly, just don't give me a killer. Just give me Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine, and I'm good.
That's pretty iconic, if you ask me.
That's all we need.
Honestly, give us all the characters and all the killers. Why not? It's the 5th anniversary.
Honestly, they might. Like, I'm sure they've been working on this for like ever, and which is why all of their other stuff has been so bad, because they've been working on this for a year.
Wow.
They're like, we made it to 5 years. Let's actually put out a working game where there's no bugs. A concept 5 years later.
Look, I'm saying that as the person who plays it the most out of the 5 of us.
Yeah.
Probably,
Right.
So
That part.
You're right, and you should say it. It's
Love
okay.
that. Love that.
Oh, and I will. I have no problems. Call them out, honey.
I love that. We love to see it. Listen,
Oh
I
God.
confused. I did Jill Scott. Special friend in chat said May Valentine. We're just all over the place. It's a chaotic
We're
group.
trying
here.
to miss.
My
Listen.
Valentine. Oh, no.
Honestly, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dead by Daylight. Do it. Blue Eyes White Dragon as the
I'm
villain.
sorry, who?
Yes.
I just want to be
fully
like
jump the
Dark
shark.
Magician girl, like running away with my huge fucking tits. Like, oh no.
Yes. Oh, the fucking tits are here,
Oh my
bitch. The
goodness.
fucking
I'm
tits
here
are
for
here.
it. I'm here for it.
Oh my god.
It's the. Have y'all seen the TikTok kid? He's like super skinny, but he always gets like these 2 huge like soccer balls, and he wears like a cutoff tank. He puts them in there, and he runs like an anime girl. He's like anime girl running to store, and it's just him running to different places. It's honest,
I
It's
love
chaos.
that.
but I love it.
That's iconic.
That sounds iconic.
Honestly, if you're redacted and you didn't do that in gym class with your friends, what were you doing? What were you doing?
You're not wrong, though.
Listen, I was trans. I was busy actually having tits and struggling to run.
Not that.
Well. Valid.
And with that, I gotta go. Bye, everyone.
No, don't go. There's a Final Fantasy 14 story.
Oh.
Oh, suddenly I'm intrigued.
Suddenly I stare.
Yeah, the new Final Fantasy patch 5.5 Death Unto Dawn just came out.
Teehee.
She's here. And I haven't played anything from it yet.
Oh, wow. Nothing?
I can't.
I haven't logged in so long.
It's the build up.
It's been a moment for me to spend. Don't worry. I saw 5.5 was on here. I was like, who's been playing that? Because it's not been one of us.
Because, like, really, aren't you still taking a break, too?
Yes, I'm still taking it. I don't have time for an MMO. Like, I do not have time for it. Y'all, it's either I stream or I play MMO. There's no betweens here. Like, or I stream the MMO.
I was gonna say that, or you stream the MMO and then teehee.
Sponsorship? Square? Thanks.
Square Enix. Hi, hello.
Square Enix. Hi.
Free trial to play to level 60, including
Ding.
Heaven's
Oh,
Word.
here we go.
Use my code SPENBLEND.
To get 10 days added to your free trial.
I love that.
Get the new patch Endwalker with the 10% discount. With my code
Oh my
SPINBLEND10.
Not the 10%.
Oh my god.
Not.
Yeah, I am
no.
excited for a lot of this stuff. I just needed a break because I was literally,
Valid.
y'all know, I was playing literally all day, every day to the point where I was like injuring myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that crafting, girl. You were doing culinary and you're using your wrist too much.
Yeah, I hurt my wrist from being a culinarian. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Here,
Well.
hey.
Did we just learn something new? Everyone hated that.
Oh my god. Everyone that pops up in the corner, everyone hated that.
Well, we gotta go. Thank you for watching, listening. We'll see you next week.
The patch is out. Bye, everybody.
Patch is out. I am really excited about the new minions, and I think I need to start leveling up Fisher so I can get the new, because there's a new seagull minion and a new dolphin minion, and they're really cute.
Ooh.
I'm all about collecting the minions and like mounts now.
I love
Here's the
that.
That's all we do.
I'm still so intrigued by this game because everyone like loves it, and I just am like, I really need to do it. But like Final Fantasy is like Final Fantasy is such a struggle for me because like I've mentioned this, like I like stopped at original Final Fantasy 7 playing the games because I was just like they just weren't for me, and like everyone's playing it and enjoying it, and I feel like I really want to enjoy these games, but I'm so scared I'm gonna get it, play it, and hate it. Even if it's free.
It's
Even
a
if
time
free, I'm
sink
like,
for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially
Definitely.
that first expansion, like the Realm Reborn. I'm like, I had to take a break from it too. Coincidentally, like this month as well, I was like, yeah, I can't do this because it takes a while for it to get good. It gets progressively better, but that first chunk of the game, you're just like kind of powering through it. So I
Talk to
totally
that
get
person
it.
across the street.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Hey, go talk to this person. This person's going to send you to talk to the person right next to them. You have to take that person next to them's thing back to the main city. And then you have to come back to this person to give it to that person to give to the person standing next to them. That's exactly like what that's a quest. That's a quest line.
Literally, the way in which you're not even exaggerating. Like, you teleport to one location, you talk to one person, you teleport back to the location you were in, you walk, you go talk to that person, and then they send you somewhere else. And you're like,
all right,
why did I do that? What does this have to do with anything?
Mhm.
Or like they
We
were just
might
like
not be doing
standing
it.
like right next to each other. And it's like y'all could have talked to each other. Like you're within shouting distance. Like y'all could have
I
said
think-
this to each other.
I think about that all the time in RPGs where it's just like you literally could walk next door and talk to this person. Why am I giving them a handwritten apology note? Go show your face to them. Like, hello, I don't care for your measly 100 gil. I just need it because I'm a broke bitch. Like, but please go talk to the person next door. Like, I can't too much.
Although that is kind of a mood. Like
I was gonna say that's an anxiety mood.
yeah, like do I really want to be perceived by a human? Let me just pay this adventurer 100 gil to give them a note. It's
Yeah, to me, I just find it so funny though when they're like, "Oh, go kill this creature at this location that I'm nowhere near." I'm like, okay, so I could just like literally walk like 3 steps and be like, "Oh, I did it," and like they would believe me.
Right. I
they
did
know
it for
somehow.
you.
They're just telepathically
They
know.
feel it. They're like, "Oh, they did it." Oh, wig.
Oh, my heart. Oh,
Oh.
wig.
Their wig just gets thrown out of their head. They're like, "Oh my god, they did it."
I feel that. I feel that.
I need
Oh my god.
I go get my wig, throw it off. Oh, monster's been killed. I sense it.
Oh, monster's been killed.
Oh wow.
Oh my
Right.
god.
Oh my god. This is everything.
We really did that.
Well, we knew
Mhm.
it was gonna be like this. We invited Ruin. Listen.
Just here, yeah, I bring the chaos. What does
We
she bring?
love
She
it.
brings the chaos. She brings the chaos.
I love that. Your new single coming soon, TM.
Bring the chaos as along with a double hit, double kill.
Yes.
That's the
Oh my
B-side to
gosh.
it.
Oh, sorry, double shot, double hit, double kill. That's what it is.
Oh, an iconic moment.
Oh my god. Love that.
You had to be there for the Fatal Frame streams. What a
Have to
moment.
be there.
God, I love those Fatal Frame streams.
So good.
Oh my god.
But no, 5.5 is exciting. I mean, it's one more step further for Final Fantasy as we get closer to Endwalker, and I feel like I should get back. I definitely know Small T is trying to get me to go back to the game to enjoy it, as well as Ender is trying to get me there, and so no, it's a great game, and I think they have definitely expanded well. So I'm excited to see what else they will be coming up with.
Yeah.
Yes.
We love that.
Yeah, I do definitely want to get back into it. I just needed a little bit of a break. I'm probably gonna just like take like a month off, like just let it like sit for a bit, and then get back into Final Fantasy and be completely addicted again.
Yeah.
That's
Completely.
the plan.
And you kind of have to do that because like there's so many games, there's so many things to do.
Right.
And you just can't, sometimes you just can't justify paying another month of a subscription that you're just not going to use or you're barely going to use. So you're just going to be like, you know what? Let me not do that. Let me do something else with my time. And then once I feel refreshed and ready to go, I'll go back to it. I kind of feel that way a little bit
Yeah.
with Animal Crossing. Like instead of playing every day, I've just been going back to it like every few days. I still haven't gone back since the last time I did. Which is now like a few days, not up to a week yet though, but it's just a thing. Like you can't just expect to play a game every single day and then just expect to continuously want to do that, especially when there's so much going on.
Right.
But yeah,
And so many games out there.
Like, the other thing with it I'm concerned about is that, like, am I going to get into it like I got into Animal Crossing at the beginning where I literally played it so much I couldn't, like, I did nothing else.
Yeah.
It can definitely be
Yeah.
consuming.
Yeah.
There's so much to do.
Yeah, it's fun though. I do like it, even like if sometimes I'm like this quest line is not great, but the game itself is very like polished, and it's definitely worth picking up. It's just like you just know it's gonna be a time sink, and you have to have a little bit of like maybe like an hour to a couple hours a day to like dedicate to it, or else you're just not gonna make any progress, and it's gonna take you even longer to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, our good Judy Ruin did bring us a story as well to discuss.
Yes. So I was just looking today, and thanks to our wonderful friend, but he could be if you, hey John, reach out. John Fingus at Engadget. He wrote an article a few days ago that talked about how gaming has been on a continual rise as far as how much money is spent monthly. And actually, all of this data comes from the MPD group. They are a market research group. They actually have an entire arm of their research group dedicated to gaming. You can go to their website. You can see exactly how to use their tools. As a developer, what games are hitting. They have everything. You can actually follow them on Twitter too. Like they're the gaming arm. They really look into it. So video game spending went up 18%, which is $5.6 billion in the U.S. This past March. It's actually the highest increases that we've seen since 2008. Glory days of the Wii, PS3, and Xbox 360. Hardware sales also jumped 47%, which is like 680 million. I mean, it's quite a bit of money. And I think ultimately my question regarding this is, will this trend continue after the pandemic is over? We've seen everyone's getting vaccinated, and people are itching to get out of their home. Is this trend going to continue? I don't think it will. I don't think it will be something that will continually rise. I think over the next year, maybe next 2 years, we're going to see a decrease in Twitch and other streaming services as well. I think we're going to see a decent dip in this. And I mean, the gaming industry is, PC gaming at least, definitely hurting right now because NVIDIA announced, as well as TSMC, which is a semiconductor company, they announced that over the next fiscal year that their stock is going to be very lean. And when you're competing against scalpers, cryptocurrency people who are into cryptocurrency, like gamers don't have a chance to get these. And this is going as far as even disrupting the car industry. Car manufacturers have pulled back because Intel, Intel also came out and said that it's going to be lean, friends. Like you just have to expect it. And I find it very interesting that, we have this huge increase, but still all of these companies are struggling. And then with this, it's going to go down. I feel like it's going to go down. How do you all feel? How do you all feel about it?
I can agree that it's like, we're seeing this increase, but like with the rise of people like wanting to get into cryptocurrency because like they're trying to find new modes of like making money, and that causing a shortage. And then scalpers are going to hurt the gaming industry like far more than like I think a lot of people realize in the past. Like just buying up GPUs and consoles and trying to sell them at a profit. It's just not going to work, right? It's like we can't, like, this trend can't continue. And like if people get turned off now when things are on the rise, when people start going back to work or start being able to go out to bars and do things where they're not at home as often, they're not going to pick up these things. They're like, oh yeah, I don't need that $500 console. I can go do this other thing, right? They're just not going to do it. And it's going to be a sharp drop for them. But hopefully, they realize that like this trend is not going to last forever. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting. What does everyone else think?
It's very unpredictable. Like I had so many different thoughts as Ruin was kind of talking about it, because I don't think it's going to be a very dramatic change as far as like, I don't think it's going to continue rising for sure, but I don't think it's going to be a dramatic like decline either, because I do feel like some people got into gaming and maybe they haven't gotten into it in a while. And there was actually some sort of like study, at least with the PS5, where there's a certain percentage of people, like a big percentage of people that got the PS5 didn't get the PS4. So I do think that there's an interesting thing there where people that may have skipped on previous console generations due to reprioritizing, whether they wanted to travel more or go out more or do what have you, they got into gaming again. And I do see that, people who invested this year in a PS5 or an Xbox, they're not necessarily going to throw that away and be like, oh, I'm not going to be a gamer anymore. But I do think that it's going to be weird, because Sony did like some sort of statement where they were like, oh, we didn't have as much stock as we would have because of the pandemic. We didn't expect people to want PS5s as much or to be able to purchase them as much. But then it's like, okay, do they want to increase the production now that people are getting vaccinated and potentially they don't want to buy consoles anymore? Like, it's like a weird balance. Like, what do they do? Like, do they increase their production and then people don't buy them and then they lose money? Because console manufacturing, the companies are losing money essentially, because those parts are not cheap, but they have to sell them at a reasonable price for consumers, or else people are just going to buy PCs. So it's a very weird balance. I don't think it's going to be super, super dramatic, but I do think that it's going to be interesting and very unpredictable. Like, these past couple of years have been. So the next one I think is going to be just as unpredictable. And I hope, I just hope that everyone like continues to like do well, as far as like I wouldn't want to see a bunch of studios closing down and stuff like that over the next year, but we'll see.
I definitely wouldn't. Go ahead, Jam.
No. I was gonna say I wonder if that's why, at least in terms of like Microsoft, right? Like, they had that big push that like the next console generation does not leave your old console behind, right? They're like, there's still going to be games coming out that you can play.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been a big thing too, right? Because they were like, we're not going to make enough to be able to sell all of these, but you're still going to be able to play these games on your older console. Like, if you bought like an Xbox One X, you're still going to be able to play these games on that, and those types of things, just to kind of push and say, hey, we're not leaving you behind just because you decided to prioritize differently, right? In the middle of a pandemic. So I just wonder if that was kind of the thinking behind this, like, no true change in console generation kind of situation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think things are going to definitely slow down a bit more so because, like I said, people are going to be wanting to go out more, so they'll probably not be playing as much, so they may not see a reason to consume as much. Because I mean, so for the past over a year, most people just been trapped in the house. I mean, what do? Usually, like watching TV, playing video games. You have the time, and if people have been like, I know some people who've been laid off, and they've just been able to just go through so many games, and I can't. But
I feel that. I feel that very much.
Yeah, but things start going, I guess, a little bit more closer to how they were. It's just that more people are going to be out doing whatever, so it is going to slow down a little bit. I do hope that helps with getting more things in stock, because I know like COVID has been an issue with that. Shortages and that, shortage of people working. With scalpers, I mean, hopefully they chill out. But I mean, I don't know if people are buying them. I don't expect it. I mean, that's the main thing. If people are buying it, they're going to do it. And it's a hit and miss. Like, I get it. I don't like it. But at the same time, it's like people are also struggling during these times. So it's kind of like, if it's extra money that can help. I do know a few who are doing it, and they're like, trying, do what they can, feed, their children and their, and their family. And like, I'm not going to tell them not to do it if that's, what they're doing. But, hopefully things go a bit more, easier to come by, and people go more back to work and things like that. But I definitely think that there's going to be as much people playing. Of course, on Twitch, there's going to be less people streaming, and whatnot, which I mean that's totally fine. It's just that people are going to have other things that they're able to do and not be stuck in the house and things like that. Now I'm still going to be here because I like being inside.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, as far as like the Switch, especially if the rumored new Switch comes out this year, I wonder how much of a huge like success that could be, because people wanting to go out again, and then the Switch obviously having the handheld capabilities, just putting two and two together, they're gonna have a big upper hand over Sony and Xbox. Of course, Xbox does have xCloud, so that could be a thing that helps them out, but I'm thinking Nintendo is like onto another. If anyone is to benefit from another unpredictable year, I think Nintendo might be the one.
Yeah,
Maybe so, because like they kind of have it good either way.
it's very true. And Nintendo actually beat out both the Sony and Xbox here. It was still the number one sold console. But honestly, maybe they just beat them based on the volume that which Sony put out, Xbox put out, in comparison to Nintendo. Because I mean, when things first hit, when the pandemic still was starting, I remember, Xbox Ones, PS4s, even Switches, they were sold out for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone struggled. And somehow Nintendo, I don't know what they did, but they somehow pushed out, the Lite, the regular console, and then they're also still working on this Pro, the supposed Pro, which, a few details about. But go ahead, Nintendo, do your bad self.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever it is, they got some magic working over there.
Yeah.
They can keep pushing out stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that. They're doing the dang thing. I feel like once things kind of open back up, I feel like this. I mean, there's always going to be scalpers for everything in every kind of industry, but I feel like it's really going to hurt scalpers the most, because like if everybody's going out, like there's going to be less competition to get consoles and everything. And like people aren't gonna pay twice as much for a PS3 or an Xbox, because like they'll be able to make more stock and there'll be less people trying to get them. So like I feel like that whole scalper market is just gonna like
they're gonna go back to scalping concert tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna go back to the concerts,
musicals, everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I think like that hopefully that is not going to be as much of a big thing. I mean, I know probably with a lot of Nintendo stuff, like it'll still be that way, because like it's always been that way.
Yeah.
And Nintendo makes like 2 of everything, and it's like that should be enough. It's not like everybody wants this thing we're making. We're just gonna make 2.
Yeah, like those amiibo cards for Animal Crossing that came out.
Jesus, I'm still mad at them.
So mad.
Don't get me started on that.
Sensitive.
Making it a Target exclusive. What? They hadn't done exclusives in a year at least with the amiibo thing. They should have never done store exclusives. Never.
Mm-hmm.
That was drama.
And then like Target selling people's pre-orders in store. The people who pre-ordered didn't get it. Like
weird.
Look, Target's a bit of a disaster right now. They're having to like deal with like only like letting people buy a certain number of Pokemon cards on Fridays. Like
yeah.
That also
Pokemon cards. It's
Pokemon
2020-21. Really?
20 years later, Pokemon cards are selling out once again.
Yeah, and I was the one being made fun of when I was buying Pokemon cards, and all of a sudden all these big hot shots are into Pokemon cards all of a sudden. Okay, whatever,
right.
Straighty poo. I was into it before
Not
you.
Straighty poo.
Oh my goodness. That was definitely the 6th grade. Like no one was into that. And then all of a sudden it just blew up. And to the point where like it got like banned from our school. That's how bad.
Same.
And then like right
Mhm.
after it, everybody was like, "I'm too cool for Pokemon." I'm like, "Yo, what just happened? I thought we was going to Viridian City."
Yeah,
Apparently
we ain't going to Viridian City. No. But
I was like, well,
mean,
if you're too cool, give me your cards. I'll put them in my book with the rest of them.
right,
Thank you.
right. I'm gonna sell these 20 years down the line. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. But I mean, ultimately, that kind of circles around a little bit. I'm connecting dots here, very
Ooh.
dots far apart. But it kind of comes down to the fact that it's about money in the end. And you know, Pokemon cards are being scalped, views are being scalped. It's like when the only reason why Pokemon cards went off is because people aren't enjoying them. First off, they're using it for content, which I guess I understand. Do you, boo, whatever. So you know they want to be the next big. I got this card. Oh my god! Which like I get it, y'all. But sometimes they want to be the next big person, and it's just like this sweetie, or they want to sell it, and it's just like, honey, like, I don't know. I mean, if you get enjoyment out of that, I guess I can't knock enjoyment. Like, if making money is your happy place, hey, so go on ahead then.
It is kind of like sad sometimes with stuff like that though, where like it becomes a thing where like the person is not happy to get a specific card because they love a specific Pokemon, but it becomes a thing as like, oh my god, this card is worth so much, and you're like, that's not the point of Pokemon, but go off, I guess. You know, it's like, again,
Exactly.
Capitalism, just doing the most.
Bring it down.
Burn it to the ground. I mean, I didn't say that, Mr. FBI. I love capitalism.
FBI agent, please. You agree with us too. Don't even. You know what's the truth.
Yeah. I do think it's going to be interesting to see like the Twitch landscape in the next year or so too, because like I feel like
it's going to change.
Okay, first of all, I am a pandemic streamer. I started streaming during the pandemic.
Not a pandemic
feel like-
streamer.
But we love you.
I feel like there are a lot of my fellow pandemic streamers who may not be as into it, or may have to like work out of the house and not be able to stream as much, or like being able to just like go out and like live their lives and like do things that I feel like there's going to be like a dip in people streaming. I feel like there's going to be like a dip in people watching.
Yeah.
It's going
And,
to
like-
affect both sides.
Yeah, definitely in
Mhm.
people watching. for
I'm
sure.
already predicting the threads upon threads, the posts upon posts of streamer Twitter being like, oh my
God.
viewership went down.
I wish the pandemic never ended.
Oh, you know someone's gonna get dragged for saying something along those lines.
There's
yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
like anti-vaxxer streamer Twitter. Why did
Anti-vaxxer
everyone get?
streamer Twitter?
Not that.
Can you imagine the mess?
mess?
Why did all of you have to get vaccinated? Why couldn't you sit home and watch me play this game for the 86th day in a row, accomplishing nothing?
The
But-
Nothing.
phrase
Really?
anti-vaxxer streamer Twitter is a killing curse. It's like at least
Like, it literally took about 15 years off my life, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm glad this has not shown up on my timeline. I've not seen it, and I like to keep it that way.
You're
Oh,
not
you
following the
lucky.
right people.
Or you are following the right people.
Right, people.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe you're following the right people. Maybe that's
Maybe
the
so.
issue.
I'm gonna go through
Maybe
your
we need to-
following list.
Yeah,
Let me do some
Sorry, everyone.
unfollowing. Let me go on unfollowing spree real quick.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how this is going to affect like multiplayer games too, because I know I spend a lot more money and time in multiplayer games than I ever have in my life, because like that was like the number one way that I connected with people in the past year. So I'm wondering how like multiplayer games are going to be affected, because like I mean obviously people are still going to be playing them.
Yeah.
But I am thinking there's going to be like a difference, definitely.
Yep.
Because
I
like, I
think
know I
you'll just
spent
have
way
a-
more money on multiplayer games last year.
Yeah, I think you'll have a shift into the like time of day that people play them as well, right? 'Cause I think
Yeah.
the big thing is that it's going to be spread across the whole day because a lot
Mhm.
more people are at home. So people will be like, oh yeah, I'll play during the day and I'll watch people stream at night. Whereas now it'll be if people are at work during the day, they might only play at night and then only a couple nights a week because, oh, I'm going to go have dinner this day and do this
Yeah.
that day. So it's definitely going to shift I think the time frame that people are playing games. But it's also going to shift the time frame for when like people stream. Like everyone's going to start streaming in the evening again because I think
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
streamers like spread across the entire day for a while because so many people were at home. So it was like, oh, I can stream like earlier in the day because more people are at home, and I don't have to compete with people who stream at night. But now people will be getting off at 5 o'clock and might watch streams when they get home,
Yeah.
but it's only going to be at night, right? So
I'm already seeing a shift in that. As people are getting vaccinated, I'm already seeing a shift in people becoming night streamers and people already complaining about the viewership drops and having to like see all the reminders like, girly, that's gonna happen. Yes. Hello.
like we said this at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
like I am also like a pandemic streamer who has like had a lot less time to stream because like getting back into school like full time and teaching and all of
Yeah.
the things that I have to do aside from that. So it's just like, so I see it, but like I knew like, okay, like I'm gonna try and keep this up, but it might not happen. But then also the realization that like at some point, even if I am able to continue this all the time, viewership's going to go down because people
Yeah.
are going to be doing other things. Like the world will go back to quote unquote normal eventually.
Yeah.
And this uptick in viewership is not going to stay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's gonna be interesting to see down the line what happens. But before then, what have we all been playing, girlies? What has everybody been up to for this past week or recently? We can start with spin and go up the line.
Sounds good. Okay, so here's the thing. I haven't been playing much because I have not been feeling well.
Well,
But
Understand.
yeah.
you know me. I did in fact start another new game on The Sims.
Well, you did squeeze
can't
that
s-
in there.
I can't stick to one save game long enough. I'm like now I started a new save game with like a house full of like creative Sims, and I'm like exploring the like knitting stuff, and I'm like doing like all the creative aspirations. So I've got like people like doing art and knitting and writing, and I just think that's cute.
Aw.
That is really cute. I love it. Is that the streamer Big Brother? Is that what you're preparing for?
No.
Ooh.
I had an idea that for my my 1 year on Twitch in August, I could do a streamer Big Brother with like friends
I'd
who
love
wanted to be a
that.
part of it.
That would be so fun.
The
And I would just like
chaos.
make Sims of everyone and do like a Big Brother house in The Sims and have everybody who's in it in chat like being like, I want to start drama with this person or I want to vote out this person.
Just
The chaos.
I will be preparing for that, but it's not till August, so I've got time. But
Yeah, you got
it's
some time.
August tomorrow. What are you talking about?
oh god, not that.
Went
But yeah, I sometime between now and then I do need to like make all the Sims and like finalize whoever's gonna want to be in it and like get everything sorted.
You have some time. You have some time. Yeah, we raise our hands like, hello. Hi, Wig.
Ah,
I want to be
Wig.
there.
but that's gonna be really fun.
Yes.
Ruin, I know you've been doing some new stuff. Tell us all
gaming.
about it.
Girly, so Saga Frontier officially came out on Thursday. I have been so excited for this game and to be able to experience it for the first time. And it has been very, for sure. I only knew this game growing up, watching my sister play it, and I don't even really know if she knew what she was doing. So, and she knew how to read. I didn't know how to read, so. But I started an Amelia playthrough with Dream, We've gotten pretty far. I may finish it today. Though the story, I feel like the storytelling was supposed to be much more expansive, and it's literally been like, well, you get a little bit of story, and then this is your goal, and then you work towards that goal, and there's a little bit of story in that, and then that's really it. But nothing in between makes sense. But I guess that is Saga Frontier, that's their gig, or Saga series, that's their gig, be very elusive on how they are with it and how affected by your choices. So even reading some guides, people are still very elusive. I feel like it's one of those games that has like a cult following. And if there's a secret, everyone keeps the secret. No one talks about it.
Interesting.
So like I can't tell you how specific I've gotten on Google where like, where do I get this? And it's just hordes of like, oh yeah, this is like, I was looking at magic today. Yeah, this is the magic. Doesn't tell you where to get it. Doesn't tell you what to do. There's no solutions for the puzzle that you have to do. Like,
oh my god.
It's so elusive. But other than that, I've been my RPG kick, and I'm playing Bravely Default 2 as well, which I have surprisingly been loving. Creepy, it's very story oriented, and I love it. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely did not expect Bravely Default 2 to be as spooky as it is. There have been several times where I have just been like watching like the stream through my fingers, just like, oh god.
There are some moments in that game, and it's just like, we're just not going to talk about that. Okay, all right, we're moving on.
Oh.
There's like all these cute little chibi characters, and you're like, oh, this is going to be so cute, and then it's all fun and games until somebody's killing their dad and hiding him in a wall.
Still one of the most scariest moments of my life, and it was never talked about.
JRPGs, we love to see it.
BRB, what have you been playing?
So yeah, I did indeed play Cozy Grove. I mentioned it briefly, I think, last podcast, so now I can talk about it because I actually played a couple days of it. It's okay, so first things first, I did get a code from it, but it doesn't gonna impact my decisions or my opinions on it, but just a disclaimer. So thank you, Papa Agenda Co. But it's interesting, actually. I actually have a kind of I'm kind of middle ground on it, because I do, as much as I appreciate the game has a thing where like you're a scout and you're sent to this island that's kind of deserted. And there's these like little ghost bears that you have to help out, and they're super cute. And they have a really unique mechanic where, so every time you accomplish like someone's like quest for that day, they will send you like a log that you can put into this like spirit flame kind of thing, and then the flame will tell you at some point like, okay, there's not going to be any more logs today. I don't sense any logs today. Check in back tomorrow, which I think is really cool because it's a game that kind of respects your time in that way of like, okay, you've already put in enough time making all these quests happen. You can still fish. You can still do like cleaning up around your island. You can still decorate and all that stuff, but there's not going to be any main story happening today. So just move on, and like tomorrow we can check in again, which I think is really cool. And I think it can make for a fun, like as a streamer, it can make for a fun break, like at the end of your stream or something, and be like, let's check in on Cozy Grove and see what's happening, doing our like daily things and all that. However, as I'm like day 4 or 5 into it, things are pretty repetitive. Unfortunately, like the island is pretty small, so you don't get to do too much. A lot of things are randomly like generated. So for example, if you need like something from a rock, you have to like hit all the rocks and then hope that you get the item that you need. If you don't, you basically just have to check in a few hours or the next day. So it can take a while for you to do some missions. I'm not a very patient person, so a lot of the times, instead of looking for things that you need to find, I just go straight to the little bear that you just pay 100 coins and they will just fully tell you where something is. So Yeah, it's just a little repetitive. You get a lot of the quests are like find this item, and then you go through your quest list, and it gives you a hint of where the item is. But the island is so short that you either guess it right away, or it's something super vague that you're like, I don't have the time for that. But it's super cute. I love seeing the different bears. There's like a seagull bear. There's like a male bear, like a male person. It's so cute. Like a little sailor. Like they just have like all these like cute little outfits and cute little backstories. But it is pretty like repetitive but it is cute, and I do appreciate it. I also got into Saga Frontier Remastered. Again, disclaimer: I did get a code from Square Enix. So that was super cool because the game never came out in Europe, so I actually never, and I wonder if that's a part of like why there's not that many guides out there, because like a huge chunk of the population just never got to play it in a lot of different areas. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be more guides now that the game just came out for the first time in so many locations. But I started my playthrough as T260G, and he's a little they're a little robot, and I played as them because they go with they them pronouns, and I was like, that's kind of iconic, let's go with them. And you get to rename them, and so naturally I named them Teehee. And one thing that the game doesn't tell you is that they add a G at the end of the name, because they're like, oh, it's a robot, it must have a G at the end, so my character is now called Teehee G. So love that for me.
I love that. TG.
Love that for me, right? I found it very fun, like very, very fun. I had like a smile on my face the whole time. I thought it was very endearing. And I wonder if it's because I started in a smaller area, because Teehee, as I called him, starts in like this very rural small town. So there's only like 3 to 4 locations, and it's fairly easy to like, you talk to everyone and you find your way pretty easily to the next quest or the next like a goal and objective. But I got to like, so as I finished those first few goals, I actually got to a thing where the world just basically opened up, and there's like an airport, like, where do you want to go? And there's all of these locations, and you're like, ooh boy. So I just kind of went around town, and I actually thankfully found like an informational thing that told me like a few locations to go to. But something that I find very appealing about it is that they have a built-in speed up thing. So like the music doesn't speed up, but your characters speed up, which is very, very nice. Another thing that I adore about the game is that you just run into characters, like all the other protagonists. You just run into them. Some of them join you, some of them don't. You just see them like as they're independently on their own like things. And I love having like a party of 5 players, and just it's so chaotic sometimes with like the equipment and with the abilities that you give them, and all of it. But I'm loving it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, because it's just like, it has drama, it has chaos. The story is pretty like like not super heavy handed, like Ruin said. Like there's a lot of like NPC like random encounters, and then you have a main, like you get to your goal, and there's a little bit of story, but then you move on to the next goal, and there's not like huge cutscenes or anything. The game is from like 97, so it is understandable that the game is not going to be like a huge production. But
I think it was just disc. If I don't think it had disc, just one.
Oh,
so they had to jam everything onto that one disc.
I mean, honestly, they did that. I really, really enjoy it so far. I will definitely keep y'all updated as I keep going through it, and maybe I start new playthroughs on my own or on stream or whatever. But it's been super fun. I'm enjoying it. I love the like whenever you finish a goal, there's like a little screen that shows you like art of a particular character. It's very like anime commercial break. Like there's like there's like one, like there's a few frames of like concept art of a particular character, and I was like, yes, I love that. It's so cute. I thoroughly enjoy it. What about you, Koga? What have you been up to?
So this week I was still playing almost forgot the name. Sound Vortex 3 still. I did finish up the 5 charts, so now I'm on the 6s. And then there's like a few 7s, and then you start the advanced charts after that, so I'll just be running through all of those. I haven't played a lot because I did get this VR headset, so I've been like running through a few games, but not like playing them, but like testing a few things. Because like as I said, as of last week, I got it at a very weird period where like Oculus released this update and it just broke things.
Oh, not that.
They did release an update for like the PC client, which fixed a lot of it. So I'm not stuck at 72 frames per second. I can now do 90 again. But there's still some other things I need to fix. So I just kind of just running through a few of those, like Drop Dead, which is, I mean, I guess you could kind of describe it like I don't know. I feel like saying a House of the Dead a little bit, but not as good. It's good. It's a good game for what it is. It's just that I would definitely take a House of the Dead VR game. Saying, but just a few of those, and
putting
then of course, putting it out there. Hopefully, they listen to me. Then of course, since I'm working from home, I just played Dokkan Battle a lot more than I'm at work, and I just started doing some of the grind events because it's like if it's just me tapping something on my phone, I can do those and not have to worry about it because the rewards are good, but grinding is kind of like it's too easy and it's just time consuming. So I just do it while I'm working and work goes by faster. So that's pretty much just been most I've been playing this upcoming week. This week, just haven't played like sat and played like a whole playthrough or anything except for like Sound Voltex 3, which I still have like maybe like a few more songs. So I think I'm about like 75% done with the tracks that I have so far.
Nice. Look at you making all the progress.
And what about you, Jam? You been playing anything?
I've been playing Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley,
Ooh.
and Prey. I've been playing Prey.
Oh, very different from the other two.
Yes. Well, I'm a very big. I beat Resident Evil 7. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, so now I'm just waiting on Resident Evil Village to come out. So once the demo comes out, I'll play that. So I'm playing Prey because I never played it. And I was like, okay, I want to. It was on Xbox Game Pass. So I was like, why not? It's free. And, well, free, but, you know, it's a part of what I pay for. And then I just play Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing to, like, you know, get through the day.
Yes.
Love that.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
But that's where I spend most of my time is Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. You know, fishing, catching bugs, you know, the huge. Destroying my island on Animal Crossing and redoing it again. Because I can't stop.
Not again.
My island is never cute enough, and then I want to redo it all the time.
Dude. Oh my god.
Well.
I'm getting to the point where I'm going to do that on my main island. I'm just like, you know what? Let's destroy everything. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Gotta redo
all the houses are on the beach, and my island is now flat. So now I will build it up again and put houses somewhere.
Tear it all
Bring it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Let's go again around. We could do clockwise this time, and we could do a little self promo. Everyone, see what everyone is going to be up to. Where can people find you and follow you at, and all that fun stuff. So, GM, what are you up to? Where can people find you? Self promo.
You can find me. You can find me everywhere at jam_5899 on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I think I even updated my TikTok to be jam_5899, so you can find me there.
There you go.
You know, and I will be posting about, you know, things, pictures of my face probably, continuing to try to get myself back into streaming, and mainly complaining about my undergrads and how they don't do enough work for me in lab.
Well.
Send them to detention.
You gotta put that out somewhere, you know?
You know, other than that, you know, working on publishing a paper, those types of things. That's what I'm mainly doing right now. And yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Kogo? Where can we find you?
You can find me here on Twitch and Twitter at Koga_Jangles. This week, of course, I'll still be playing Sound Voltex 3. I do want to do another playthrough of Resident Evil 7 before Village comes out. I still want to go through the DLC because I never went through those because I was waiting for VR version to come to PC, and that just never happened.
Well.
So I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm just going to go through those as well. So I still want to do those. and then at some point probably start playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid because they're about to add Ryu and Chun-Li as Power Rangers in that game.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I saw that. That's like
Yeah.
that was a random collab, and I was like, okay.
That's what I
I'm
was saying.
about
There was a lot that happened this week, and that was one of them. Like, how am I supposed to talk about one thing? Because that one was very exciting for me. It's not a surprise because they have like this mobile game called Power Rangers Legacies War, and Ryu and Chun-Li were both on that one as well. So so for me, it was just like, okay, when is this happening? Oh, you're ending season 3? Nothing. Oh, okay. You're releasing like a big game that has like all the DLC, and now you're adding them on top of it. I'm like, okay, now I need to play it, and it's on Game Pass. So, yeah, definitely
There you
gonna
go.
Well, there you go.
try it out.
Yes, we love to see it. Streaming wise, what are you gonna be up to? And all that fun stuff.
I just said that.
You're gonna play that on stream.
Someone's not paying
I thought
attention.
you were just like you just wanted to mention it, that you were gonna like just excited about that, just in general. I was like, oh, okay, are you gonna stream it?
Well, yeah, I said that I was gonna be playing Soundful Takes 3. Wanted to start doing another playthrough of Resident Evil 7, and then wanted discussing to go through the DLC as well. And then at some point, probably going to be playing Power Rangers, and I went from there.
It's the clownery for me. I am so sorry. It's the time of clowns.
She doesn't.
Not this.
The Ruby slander has begun.
No, well, has it ever ended? Well, that's my question.
The facts.
That's true. Did it ever end?
No.
Oh, well, you can find more Ruby slander at Project Ruby on most social medias. The Project Ruby on Instagram and TikTok. My streaming has been pretty chaotic recently. Like I'm not really doing like a particular schedule or even a particular set of games. I'm just kind of doing, especially with so much coming out and so much happening, I'm just like, what do I play? Do I play games that I've already started? Do I continue a new game? Like, what do I do with my time? But yes, my rotation is pretty chunky right now. I could be doing Animal Crossing. I could be doing Cozy Grove. I could be playing Saga Frontier or Final Fantasy VII Remake. Who knows? Stay tuned and find out. I am pretty close to finishing 7 Remake, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a little bit more of that so that we get that done before the new DLC. Not that I have a PS5 and I can play the DLC, but, you know, it's fine.
Sad face.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's totally fine. What about you, Spid?
Well, I've been doing a lot of shiny hunting. Last week I did in fact find my shiny Delmise.
Yes.
He's beautiful. And now we're looking for a shiny Dedenne. And I put up a poll on Twitter for who we want like our next shiny hunt to be, and if y'all tie it, I swear to God.
What are you gonna do? Put it in words. Put it in words. What are you gonna do? Tell us your feelings, Leo. Tell us your feelings.
Next week, I'm going to probably be playing more Final Fantasy 13 because we haven't played it in a while, and maybe we'll finish up some design stuff on Yeehaw Land.
Yeah.
You can find all that at Spinblend. Spinblend on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. I've been doing like a lot of K-pop stuff, a couple clips here and there. That's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruin, tell the people where they can find you and what you're doing.
You can literally find me everywhere. Ruincrown, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, on TikTok. You can find me Crown all of the places. So please drop a follow and drop some likes. I would love to see it, or come hang out, say hi. I'd love to see you at the Ruincrown Musical Circus and College.
Yes.
But other than that, have been playing. I want to finish Saga Frontier. I want to finish Amelia's storyline, and then we also said we do Blue storyline. So I have another playthrough on Saga Frontier coming through for that. I want to finish Default on stream, so that's something else. I did forget to mention earlier, I did play a game on Tuesday. It was called Before Your Eyes, and it was a very interesting game that actually was supposed to incorporate a webcam and it basically changes on how much you blink. So you can fast forward through time. So there are moments where you blink, and it jumped, to something else. But it was a very emotionally, someone said it, emotionally loaded game. There were some moments I was not ready for. We did witness my mom swallow an entire wine glass and then put it back on the table, and I thought that was very interesting.
Oh, wow, a moment.
There's a
So
clip.
yeah, there's a clip. But it was a very interesting game. I definitely will try it off stream with my webcam. How my gameplay is changed, like with it actually tracking my blinking. So, but yeah, follow me everywhere, Ruincrown. Thank you. Love you all.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Ruin. I hope you had a good time
Yes, thanks for
today
joining
with
us.
us.
So much fun. It was lovely hanging out with you all. I'm so happy to be in this room with such wonderful people.
Yes.
We love you.
We're all
Love
actually
you
in the
all.
same room, but like socially distanced. Yeah.
These are all
Yes.
just green screen backgrounds.
It's still a panorama, everybody. Still a panorama.
We're just
socially distanced.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, thank you everyone for watching, for listening. We're gonna be back next week, of course, and then throughout the week maybe some gaming streams like Hades or maybe other stuff. Who knows? We'll see. But we will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.
Bye.